Again, welcome to all of our attendees this morning. Well, let's get straight into it this morning with the very first suggestion is obviously time management. And we'll be taking a look at 4 points to help us with time management. And that is because no matter what industry you are in, planning for your shutdown period will give you the edge when you return to work. And things like time saving, organization, quick response, efficiency, productivity, all of this goes hand in hand with managing your own time. All of you, we know we don't have different amounts of time in the day. There's 24 hours in the day. A lot of that is used to work. Some of that is used to sleep. Then we have to eat and feed ourselves. We've got to travel to and from different areas, either going from work to home or from our clients back to the office. And all of this takes our time. So how can we save time while still ensuring that we have the time to perform and become efficient as well as productive? Well, it's not easy. You need to manage your own time and ensure that you have allocated the right time to the right priorities. So this leads us into our very first step, and that is to start by making a to-do list. Now, if you want to shut down before we go away, there's a few things that you need to wrap up for the year. And you might say to yourself, well, what does this have to do with occupational health and safety? Well, health and safety affects us whether we are on the task, in a vehicle, working behind a desk, or even if you are on your lunch break. And that is because incidents and accidents can happen at any time. So staying happy and healthy at work is all part of the purpose of the OSH Act, and that is to improve your health and safety quality while working. And this is performing any task, including preparing for the shutdown period. So when we do this list of items that need to be fixed or resolved before we actually end off, we want to ensure that we prioritize what is essential, get that done as soon as possible. Don't procrastinate and leave it for another day. Soon enough, it's going to be next week, it's going to be the week after, it's going to be the day where you have to lock up and go for holiday. And you don't want to be stressing while you are laying next to your pool, having a bra, or even playing on the beach. You don't want to be stressing about what was supposed to be done or what you still need to do when you get back to work. You want to tie off and finish what needs to be finished for the year. So think about any outstanding work that might be on your desks. Think about the emails that you have not yet answered. I know for myself personally, receiving thousands of emails every week, especially from many of you out there listening to the Toolbox talks, or from those of you listening to the podcast on Monday mornings, there's a lot of questions that come through. And one of the things that I've set myself a goal is to answer all the emails, the outstanding emails that I have for the year. And this is taking time, but I've scheduled just an extra hour per day. That means I've got to wake up a little bit earlier and obviously get it done. And this is to ensure that next year I start off with a clean slate, and also with many of you not being upset that I haven't replied to you yet. And so we want to develop these relationships and not just clients out there. We want to make sure that we help you, and next year you look to us for some more advice and come back to the Tuesday morning Toolbox Talks. What about those invoices that haven't yet been paid? We know it's very difficult at this time of the year to start getting invoices paid, but why not just make yourself a few minutes each day to remind your debtors or creditors of payments that need to come in or out? And what about those other seemingly non-essential tasks that might not have been top priority during the year, but have been pushed aside because more important things have come up? Think about that one thing, and you're probably thinking about it already. The thing that you've been needing to do, and every time you're about to do it, you get another job, or perhaps something else comes up. COVID happened and we got quite a few tasks at home done that we needed to do. But even after that, all of that time off, we needed to get straight back into work and try and really make a living for 2020. Many of you are preparing for 2021 already, and there's a few tasks that you've been putting aside for that. Well, what are those tasks? Is it possible to schedule it now for the next coming weeks? So anything outstanding, we want to make a list of it and then go through it periodically. Now, we also want to just mention that you need to take smaller steps. Big steps, if you think of a step ladder, many of you know how to set up a step ladder very safely, but have you noticed the distance between step number one, step number two, or the rungs of a step ladder? Well, they're not too low so that you are climbing too much and exerting too much energy, but they're also not too high so that it creates a hazard and yet you cannot reach it. You see, they're just at the right amount so that it's easy to step up and also to step down off that ladder. Well, think of your to-do list very much like this ladder. In order to excel or to get further up the ladder, we need to ensure that those steps are at the right distance. So what do we mean by this? Well, we want to have adequate time dedicated to cleaning off our tasks, but at the same time, we want to start with these smaller steps. So instead of setting yourself a huge goal of answering those 1,000 unanswered emails, that huge task is going to seem like a mountain that you cannot overcome. What you can do is say every single day you will answer 10 emails and dedicate half an hour to answering those 10 emails, if that is within reason of your company. Now, if you can't do that, then we suggest taking a look at your task as a whole and then breaking them up into smaller pieces and maybe doing something each and every day from Monday to Friday, or set yourself that time on Friday afternoon when it's maybe a quieter period to really get stuck into a few of them. Either way, having a list to tick off will help you feel a lot more accomplished. Now, the second thing we want to encourage you to do, just to promote a healthy mindset. Now, safety is a very important aspect for each and every one of you plumbers out in the industry. And a healthy mind is going to help you to remain safe or focus on safety. Because a cluttered mind, or when you are distracted, is only going to cause more incidents and accidents. Now, cleaning off our desk is also extremely important. As part of housekeeping, it's something that we should be doing, but many of us leave our sites at our clients on the projects all very clean, neat, and tidy. But if we've got sticky notes and paper clips all over our desk, even if you're not a neat freak, when it comes time to work next year, you will feel distracted if you come back to an office environment that has not been kept clean or tidy. And housekeeping is not just for site, it's not just for our clients, it's for our vehicles, for ourselves, including where we perform our tasks. If you think about the office environment sitting behind your PC, where you do the quoting, where you do the invoicing, where you call your clients, or even where you have to sit down as an employee to do some paperwork for the tasks that you've performed to hand in to the company. If that environment is not welcoming to you and not clean and tidy, well, you're going to feel negative in that environment automatically. Whereas if it's neat, clean, and tidy, you feel as if you can be more efficient at the work that you do. Now, I'm not talking about organized chaos where you walk in and it looks like a bomb's gone off in your office and you say, well, I know where everything is, so don't touch it. We appreciate that many of us actually do work like that. But just remember, an organized office is a lot more efficient because you can get things done in a better amount of time. You can also arrange things a lot quicker as well. So maybe don't be so distracted with all those things on your desk. Put them in its place and ensure that when you arrive back next year, everything is right where it's supposed to be for you to kick off 2021. The third thing we want to give you as an example that we've been using over the years is to plan for the next year. Now, planning is obviously done very differently, but we take time out just to briefly outline what our plan is for 2021. And this can be key performance indicators that we set for ourselves, such as increasing our sales or productivity within the first 3 to 6 months and giving ourselves set targets. Phoning 5 clients a day, ensuring that you've got at least 1 appointment every week, and thereafter sending out at least 3 quotes for that week. All of these are little indicators that can help you to perform better next year. And this is all in terms of business. We want to increase our productivity and ensure a vibrant 2021 for our business. But how do we do this with health and safety? Well, think about everything that you did in 2020. Now, many of us don't want to think back on it. We just want to get rid of 2020. We want to move over to the next year. But there's a lot that we can learn from how we've structured our business in 2019 to 2020. There's a stark contrast to how many of us are performing or doing our businesses at the moment. So go through some of the notes you collected during the year and determine where they should fall on your to-do list. Many of us realized that a lot more online marketing, online work, or social media needed to be done for our business to become more exposed. And that's because people are not traveling as much as they used to. So not seeing billboards anymore, people are now seeing posts on Facebook or Instagram. Are you making use of this? Are you planning to do this in 2021? Now, I know that every single week I have to promote or do some sort of sales or marketing on Facebook. And I also realize that often I get to the point of I say it's going to be Wednesday morning and all of a sudden it's Friday. And that is because work gets busy, life gets busy. And you can attest to that as well. There's so many things that you want to do, but you just don't seem to have the time to actually do it. Well, taking some time out now while you have it, you could start preparing a few ads for next year. 4 ads that you prepare now in the next few hours is a whole month worth of 1 week ads for January or February, March. What about determining primary goals for the year ahead? When it comes to health and safety, have we taken a look at our safety files and realized where the shortfalls are? Perhaps you've had an incident or accident at your workplace. Perhaps you've had a rise in COVID cases or exposure to COVID cases within clients. Is there something you can practically put in place now so that you've prepared and planned for it for next year? Remember, having it documented and written down, you can go away for December holidays, or even if you're just planning to remain local and stay at home and have some needed time with family, you can have peace of mind that when you return, you've got your work cut out, but also planned, organized, documented. You don't need to worry or stress about the work that you're going to be performing. You can get back and pick up where you left off. And that is because you don't have to try and remember everything. You've written it down. You've got a game plan. You've got your first few steps set up. And yes, uh, be lenient. Obviously, don't think that once you get to step number 8, something else is not going to come in and maybe sweep you off your feet, because 2021, we don't know what is actually going to happen. None of us can foretell what's going to happen in the next few weeks or years. So what we want to do is plan for distractions to come our way. And so have a sufficient amount of time as well as dedicated resources to accomplishing your targets and goals for 2021. The fourth step, and probably one of the most important that we really want to focus on, is not letting your guard down during this season. Many of you who are going to be leaving us and going away perhaps to a holiday destination, jetting off perhaps overseas or locally to some of our beautiful destinations in South Africa, we realize that we relax a lot more when we are on holiday. But the COVID virus is obviously not taking a holiday. So please remember to stay vigilant. Ensure that you keep your mask with you. Perhaps if you've got a few different vehicles or you're going to be traveling to different areas, maybe have 2 or 3 masks available in your vehicle, in your luggage. Perhaps if you do carry a bag or a purse with you, maybe keep extra sanitizer and masks in there for yourself and your family as well. We want to enjoy our holiday, but we don't want to come back with disappointment. And so we'll also talk about this next week, about holiday planning, and while you're being on holiday, how to protect yourself and your family. And again, you might be saying to yourself, what does this have to do with OHS? Well, health is a very important part of occupational health and safety. You see, we focus very much on the safety aspect, safety file, safety training, but health is also extremely important because a healthy person is someone that is a lot more productive. Someone who is not healthy, who is ill or suffering with some sort of disease, is not going to be as productive. In fact, they might even take a lot of time off work in order to get well. And we know with COVID-19, as soon as somebody is infected with COVID-19, they have to take a minimum of 2 weeks off and perhaps even have to go to hospital if it gets very bad, where they can get well again. All of that time is time spent off of work. Now, yes, many of you have experienced it where others have gotten COVID. They're not very seriously affected. They do get better after the 2 to 3 week period, and they stay at home and they get a lot of work done. But are they as productive as when they were fully healthy? Well, not at all. Even if they are only performing at 90%, 90% is still going to affect your business. And so we want to have you performing at peak performance. And I'm sure you want your employees to perform the same. So for those of you who are going away, please don't let your guard down. Ensure you continue to adhere to those social distancing, deep cleaning, sanitizing, disinfectant, wearing your mask, and keeping yourself out of trouble when it comes to COVID-19. For those of you who are working through December, much like myself, you might be working straight through because you've got some projects that you want to finish off. You're going to be in and around Joburg, Cape Town, or Durban, and you're going to be in and around the cities where there's not many people. We might think to ourselves, well, we can relax a little bit. There's not many people around. They're all away on holiday. Well, do not relax in your standard of safety. Please don't let your guard down. Keep ensuring that you hold yourself as well as your family, your employees, and your clients' safety at a higher standard. Remember, we want to do our part to combat COVID-19. We want to come back in 2021 with only good news for the end of 2020. We want to have relaxed a little bit. We want to have calmed down and come back feeling revitalized and energized for 2021. Many of us lost work, lost livelihoods during 2020. And so you obviously want to start 2021 by ensuring you've got something for your family. Well, if you are in that position, we really hope and trust that not only will you look after your health and safety, but at the same time, you will definitely find some positive in the next few weeks. So again, you might be saying, well, what does all of this have to do with OHS? Again, we do not want to be busy with things that are not going to really excel or push us to that continual professional development that all of us so badly want. And it's not just about joining a Toolbox talk so that you can claim 1 CPD point from SIOSH. It's not about listening to the Toolbox talk so you can claim CPD points from PRB. We want to have a mindset change. Health and safety is not just in a file that gets locked away and collects dust when we're on holiday. Health and safety is a way of life. It's a behavior and really something that you want to put forth as priority in your life because it could mean the life of ourselves, the life of our employees, or perhaps even the life of those who are affected around us. So distraction leads to destruction. If we are distracted with the wrong thing, we might be looking at ourselves and saying, why are incidents and accidents happening to me all the time? What is wrong? Why are we doing something wrong? You might find that it's not a human error. Oftentimes, it is some sort of arrangement that has not been in place, a system failure within our health and safety program. Perhaps we're not doing enough training. Perhaps we are not paying attention during Toolbox talks, or maybe we're not striving for continual professional development within ourselves as employees. We're leaving everything to the employer. Remember, it is everyone's responsibility to work safely. It is also the responsibility of each and every employee to protect himself as well as those who he works with. Now, does it work? You might be sitting there saying, well, Chris, I've tried this before and it didn't work. Trying and failing at least means that you tried, and now you know another way not to do it. But don't stop there. Try again. Productivity will give you a greater sense of accomplishment. and it will also assist you in focusing on the tasks when required. If we remain too relaxed, life will continue on. Work will continue to come in, COVID will continue to move in around us, and this means that we will be distracted, not just in our tasks that we're performing, but it will even extend to our family life, to ourselves at home, and then in our business as well. But remaining healthy, uh, striving toward a better safety mindset, it will help you to be more aware of your surroundings. A lot less incidents and accidents happen when we are aware of our surroundings. It will also help us to be in tune with the need to be vigilant, especially during this COVID-19 pandemic time. Remember, safety and production do go hand in hand. If we have a good system for health and safety, production will increase. And if you haven't already heard it from us before, just give it a try. Why not take a look at your housekeeping? Take a look at these 4 steps, making sure you've got a to-do list. You'll see your production increase because you feel more efficient in doing it. Just declutter. Ensure you've got a good housekeeping routine, especially for your offices during this time as you are going to be locking up your vehicles, perhaps where you work. Keep them clean, keep them neat. You'll find that less incidents and accidents happen, less tool breakages, less times that you have to go for maintenance, and also a less impact on your overall mental health for doing your task. And then things like ensuring that you do not let your guard down. Please remember, COVID is still out there. Do your part to combat it. Thanks very much.